yesterday urging Zelensky to strike a deal for peace during a heated exchange.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's backed you far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you?
After those tense moments, a minerals deal was not signed, and National Security Advisor Michael Waltz told Zelensky to leave. He joins us now. Colonel Waltz, just such an extraordinary exchange on so many levels. But after what we saw there, the press is let out of the Oval Office. I assume that President Trump went in one direction and Zelensky went somewhere else. And it was you and Secretary of State Marco Rubio who had to go and explain to Zelensky that it went badly and he was leaving. Can you describe that scene for us?
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. Look, we had a meeting after that exchange, after the press was asked to leave, and we advised the president, pretty much unanimously advised the president that after that insult in the Oval Office, we just do not see how that could move forward, that any further engagement would only go backwards from this moment on. And that's what we walked over and told President Zelensky and his team. And let me just talk to something very quickly, that this was some kind of ambush. Right. That is absolutely and categorically false. We had a beautiful setting in the East Room ready for both leaders to sign that would have bound the United States and Ukraine together economically for a generation, for critical minerals that we need, economic investment that they need. And that would have been in the heels, Charlie, of having the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, who says he's ready to put boots on the ground, the president of France, Macron, who's ready to put boots on the ground, NATO Secretary General that the president had just spoke to about broader security guarantees. So this really could have been and should have been a positive moment for Ukraine. And then we go to further negotiating with the Russians, bring this war to an end, and move the world forward and stop the death and destruction. But instead, what became clear, and I think what has the president so frustrated and frankly angry, is that it's not clear that Zelensky truly wants to stop the fighting. And he came in, even though he was warned not to, determined to litigate all of that in front of the entire world. And the vice president said enough is enough. The president said enough is enough. And I got to tell you, this was the wrong approach, wrong time in history, and definitely the wrong president to try to do this kind of a thing. This is not Joe Biden. This was Donald J. Trump. And I think the entire world saw that crystal clear.
Truly amazing. When you went in and explained to Zelensky that he was leaving the White House without lunch or that important signing, did he look surprised? Did he seem to recognize what had happened?
No, he didn't, frankly. His team did. His ambassador and his advisor were practically, I mean, they were practically in tears, wanting this to move forward. But Zelensky was still argumentative. And finally, what I said, look, Mr. President, time is not on your side here. Time is not on your side on the battlefield. Time is not on your side in terms of the world situation. And most importantly, U.S. aid and the taxpayers' tolerance is not unlimited. So, you know, I think he is used to hearing, actually, I know he is used to hearing that as long as it takes, as much as it takes, blank check, and the United States really doesn't have much of a say, you can determine the outcome of all of this. That's what he heard for years from Biden and his team, and he has not gotten the memo that this is a new sheriff in town, this is a new president, and we are determined to take a new approach towards peace.
A truly astonishing obliviousness to the real politics on the ground. Colonel Mike Waltz, thank you so much for joining us.
I think he did his country a true disservice. Truly. And who is opposed to peace? Yeah. If you disagree with how we're going to end the war, fine, but you do that behind closed doors, not the way this was done. It was wholly unacceptable.
Mike Waltz, thank you so much.